Oh, 6:31. Okay. All right. So you listened to the recording from last week, right?
Well, I stopped at the piece where I couldn't tell whether or not you was talking to me.
No, I was not talking to you.
When you told the person, oh, you just need to start over, I said, now hold on now.
I'm about to tell you the same thing.
What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
When I say start over, I'm not meaning that what you have here, you can't use. But you have to answer the question.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I'm not finished as yet. That's just me trying to put some stuff together. And I actually did do some more as well. But I mean, I'm on the right track. I just need to apply it better then.
Yes, because the first part of the question is.
Yeah, I heard on the last recording when you started to break it down. So I already know I need to change some stuff up there. I actually started working on that question, adding some more stuff and updating it. But I just wanted to find out if that was me who you tell start over, because I didn't understand as if it's wrong, like it's not the information needed. But okay.
Okay.
So I just need to take your tips from last week and actually just break it down and start applying it. Okay, I started to do that.
This around. And for you specifically, besides that, there's too much definitions in here.
Okay, so take out some of those definitions.
Yes, too many definitions.
Well, I mean, it's some of them got to come out anyway. When I started to do my word count, I just was trying to put some stuff together, and then I would eventually have to. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
You need a little bit more footnotes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you need more footnotes for that to carry some weight.
Okay. But basically, I'm on the right track. I just need to now apply it better to the question then. Okay, that's all.
So when you listen to the notes from last week, then you'll see what you are missing.
Correct. Yes, ma'am. And I actually, like I said, I started to do some updates on that question for my listen to it on Monday.
Okay.
So I started to apply what you said to it.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Who else is on and sent me a paper?
Rodrigo.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Rodrigo, my dear. Page 1 is your what? This is your first page is too long. The second paragraph where you start with after the implementation, that's too detailed. So you've tried to answer it in a way that I told you, but now you need to cut it down and answer the question.
Okay.
Cut it down some more. Now you have here, remember I told you when you're doing the benefits and the challenges, you need to put subheadings.
Okay.
Because you'll see when I come to someone else's paper, what the examiner is going to look at is when you say, these are the benefits and these are the challenges, they have to be realistic.
Okay.
Right. And the only way you could do that is you have to make sure that each benefit is clear, that is centered around risk and is connected to the NRA.
Okay.
So that's the first thing I saw. I saw your little bullet points 1 through 5.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. I just want
sorry.
to see how to tell you to deal with this. This is how you need to think. They asking you for the benefits and the challenges. And so the benefits and the challenges, of course, goes to the company or the firm. And there are benefits and challenges also from the steering committee, and there are benefits and challenges to the regulator.
So I need to consider all of them?
Yes.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta do this paper.
Okay.
And that goes to you too, Felicia, and all the rest around it in the paper. Because the recommendation one is focusing on the NRA and what the country would have done to implement a risk-based approach to its licensees.
Okay.
And so your benefits and your challenges is not just to the licensees, but also the benefits and challenges to the regulator and to the steering committee. The steering committee needed so that there are no deficiencies in their recommendations, so we are not blacklisted.
Okay.
You
Yeah, I
see
was a
what I'm
bit
saying?
unclear. I was unclear about that. Thank you so much for clearing that up, because I was trying to figure out if the benefits and challenges were to be linked specifically to just the regulator and the firm itself, or because if you notice in my paper, I only discussed the benefits and challenges for a firm specifically. Consider, I was confused about that. So thank you so much for clearing that up. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is Jasmine on?
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening. So I looked at yours. Your introduction is also too long. You need to tighten that.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to focus on the question. What you need to drive the examiner to know is we had a deficiency. We addressed it. This is what they focus on in order to comply for its registrants. How did it get its registrants to do it? And then you go into the benefits and the challenges. And that's the difficulty I see you all are having in trying to bring all of that together in a short way. And you only can get it by rewriting it. Because the more you write it, the more you begin to understand it, and you begin to see, guess what? I'm repeating the same thing over and over again.
But Ms. Atra, I can't speak for everyone, but what I found when I was doing the research, because what you're saying is exactly what I was trying to do, but it's rather difficult researching information in regard to the Bahamas, because they give you the end result, but really not the process, how they actually achieve those goals. You know, when I look at what FATF recommended and what was the deficiencies that was found, what the notations that they made inside after completing the NRA assessment, you know, and then of course it was the 3-year plan that they came up with, but there's no process, no, like, you know what I mean? We did these, how did we do these? We did surveys and we did on-site visits, like nothing like that you can find. It's just publications stating, you know, where we are now.
Okay, so
I mean, is anybody else having that issue? Sorry.
Okay, let's see what they say first.
You were breaking up. I didn't really hear you. Can you just like repeat it again? Sorry.
No, I was saying during research here, it's hard to find the processes that they, or the avenues that they took to achieve those goals. Like everything was pointed out what the deficiencies was in the recommendation. Then you have the end result, and you know, with the steering committee, but there's no middle ground, no middle form of information saying, okay, this is what we did. We sent out surveys to all of the companies and, or, you know, etc. That's what I found it hard to find that form of information.
I agree. It was kind of hard for real. I agree with you completely. I don't know if it's like it's probably because it's something that is not advertised. I don't know, but I agree with you. I also had the same issue.
So that's my thing, and I'm just going through everything on Central Bank website, Securities Commission website, just to see what all I could gather here and there. But at the end of the day, it's just the end result. Yeah. So you know, I don't want to guess and pull things out of air.
Okay, so stop right there. We were not the only country that was deficient. Yeah. And so if you carry out a research, you will notice that both countries more or less use the same methodology to come up with their answers.
Okay.
right? And so you can actually compare what we would have done with another jurisdiction that is similar to ours.
Okay. Okay.
So they would have had meetings and conclaves and surveys. They would have done all of those things.
Mm-hmm. Okay then. All right. So.
Ms. Archer, I just have a question before you move on to the next person. Relative to the benefits and challenges, I understand your point about subheadings, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you would want to, the examiner would prefer to us to explain our benefits and challenges in formatted as a paragraph, correct? As opposed to point form.
Yes, paragraph.
Okay,
Okay, so at the very end, like when you're ready to submit your paper, if you have drafted, I know you all will scream, but if you've drafted your paper at least about 5 times, anyone could pick up your paper and read it, and the benefits just jump off the page. The challenges just jump. Because you should be able by that time to write a benefit, let's say benefit A, and challenge B1, A1, B1, and contrast the two. But you can't do that if you haven't read enough, and you haven't written it enough, and if you don't understand it enough.
Okay.
That is how you try to get an A paper.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of work. But you just have to try. Any more questions? Let me go to another paper I have here. Sheena? Is Sheena on?
Yes, I'm on.
Oh, boy, that sounds like an eager beaver.
Yeah, I have a problem. I couldn't even find the screen. I just find the Zoom screen because it keeps going off my screen. So yeah, so I would get to
No, that's all right. I think we have weak internet today.
Okay, okay.
Okay, the first page isn't too bad, but you have to tighten that up some more.
Okay.
The second page where you started with in 2008, you can't put the footnote at the beginning of the word. You know that. So you have to move that number 4.
Move number 4, okay.
Yeah, you have to move the numbering. You can't leave the numbering there. What I have on my footnote here is that on page 2, the paragraph which you start with the Bahamas. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I said I don't understand.
Okay, I'll work on it.
I don't understand the link.
Okay, okay.
I don't know where that comes from or what you're trying to say.
Okay, I'll look at that.
Yeah. And then the next paragraph with the central bank again, you have the number in the wrong place.
Okay.
I would take that first sentence out completely.
Okay.
That site where you got that from, be very careful. That is an that is a promotional site.
Okay.
You understand what I mean? When I say it's promotional?
Yeah, that not concrete, in other words, don't use it.
Yeah, it's like a marketing tool.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So if I'm reading it as an examiner, you have to qualify these words that you put in that first sentence.
Okay.
You see? So that's why I say it's a marketing site.
Okay.
So be very careful how when you take things from it, how you reword it.
Okay.
Now, you went and you said, speaking of one regulator, to lead into one regulator, you needed to start that before you started in 2018. Your
Okay.
paragraphs have to flow.
Okay,
Can't be disjointed, so they have to flow. Each one leads into the other one.
okay,
And then the next one with the risk base,
uh-huh.
the name of the individual can go in a footnote.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
And you don't need to expand too much on the composition.
okay,
You just need to say who it is.
okay, okay.
I'm not too sure about your benefits.
Revamp the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, I see your first challenge is all right. You will have to explain on the challenges the second one, where you start with low.
Okay. That's one second, sorry.
Remember, I say when you say these benefits and these challenges, they have to be realistic. And so if I read a particular benefit or challenge, in my mind, the picture should come to me right away. If I have to try to figure out what it is, then it's not right.
Okay,
Okay, and then if I go to the next one, where you start with the sentence with according to, and then you go next sentence says even if. I don't know what that means.
okay. Let's revamp that too, okay.
Yeah, it has to be very clear.
Okay,
Because I told you before how the examiner marks. When the
Right.
examiner reads, he's looking for those key words, and the story has to flow.
okay,
And they like it jumps out at you. So if I have to be reading the first sentence and then reading the second sentence, and I'm still lost, and then the third sentence you start with a different challenge, you've already lost points.
okay. Okay,
This means no regardless.
what that is, Ms. Aja?
No regardless. Sit down and write your papers.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, no going to regardless. You don't have time for that.
okay.
Shakira, is she on?
Yes, I'm up.
Okay, this is much better. I need you to make sure your sentences are complete and watch your tense. Your noun and your verbs sometimes don't agree. And again, for you, with your benefits and challenges, just make sure that they are realistic. So you should be able to take each one and make sure that they are realistic. And like I was saying earlier, refer the benefits and challenges from the national level and then regulatory level, and then the firm. But this is much better.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's much better. That's your second or third draft?
To be honest, that's actually my first draft.
That's your first one?
Yes, ma'am.
That one isn't too bad. So that's all that I got. So y'all have a lot of work. When is this due again? I keep forgetting when this is
I'm in June. June.
Yeah, that's next month.
17th. Right,
June 13th.
okay.
So you have 1 month left, 4 weeks, roughly. All right. So what are you giving me for next class? A redo of the first part. Next class is the 19th, and then after that, we have the 26th. So what are you giving me on the 19th?
You meaning me?
No, anybody. If you
I know I
understand
have
that.
quite a bit of work to give you. I am really behind. So me personally, I have to give you quite a bit before the 19th. And I'm committed to
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Me
I have
too,
a lot
honestly.
going on with Archer.
Yes, I agree. Normally, I'm not this delinquent, to be honest. So I'm trying to give you, when I give you my draft, I'm trying to give you, honestly, a paper for you to read and give me feedback on. And unfortunately, I won't be able to make it to class on the 26th because my graduation is that evening.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to get all of this done by next week.
Oh, wonderful. So if I could get all the drafts, your full first completed, second drafts for some people, third for some, on the first part, when we come to class next week, Thursday, we will go over the last part of the question, which is on culture, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
And
it's
how
on.
it- Yeah,
Yes.
so, right. So if I get your drafts in time, I'll be able to give you comments on the full thing that you would have done. We will go over the chapter. And you know, when I go over the chapter, that means we're answering the questions at the back. So I can see whether you understand it or not. And then we will look at the approach to the question. And when we come back on the 26th, which is your last class with me, that chapter 12 is a very important chapter. I know it is not a part of your assignment now, but it's something that you actually need to know. So I'd want to discuss the questions at the back of chapter 12, but I also want on the 26th to have your first draft of the last question. So how does that sound?
It's good, Miss Archer.
Sounds good.
That's
Thank you.
fine.
Sounds like a plan.
That's the plan. I'm writing it down right now. So May 19th, I want second or third drafts of 1A and B. And we will do the questions at the end of chapter 12. And on the 26th, we will go over the last question. And on the 26th, do you think you all can draft something for the 26th on the last question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
That's the last class with you, right?
that's the last part, yes. So let's say on the 26th, we want our first draft of question 2. We'll do the questions at the back of chapter 12. Yeah. Didn't I have someone to send me? No.
So
I wanted to see your assignment 3. Remember I asked someone to send that to me.
I sent it, Ms. Archer.
You did? Hold
Yes,
on,
somebody
babe.
sent it. I sent it to you. Let me check right now. Hold on one second.
No, that's
I wanted to see what's in it, what it's all about.
Second challenge.
Which day you sent it?
It should have been the day after last week's class.
So
The
that's
next day.
Friday?
That should have been, yeah, should have been Friday. You can double check. I'm checking my junk to make sure it's been through.
I'm looking right now in May. Last week, the 5th. Okay, so I'm on the 5th. Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. Because you realize time goes very quickly.
Yes, it
see?
does.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay, this one is on culture too. And risk and remedying it. Okay, so this one doesn't focus too much on products. This one focuses more on having an AML CFT framework, which is chapter 9. And it focuses on management issues. Okay, so this question focuses on 9, 10, 11. Yep, it does. This one is not that hard. Mm-hmm.
You say assignment 3 is not that hard?
No.
Hello, guys, plenty information. Plenty
Yes,
information
but
already.
it's not that hard. Why do you think it's hard?
I guess probably because it's saying you have to act as if you're the head of head of compliance, or and then you have to be able to make, like, I guess, strategic decisions,
Mhm.
leading your firm and guiding them. And so it's basically testing your knowledge of what you learned about AML from the entire course.
Of course, didn't I
And
tell you
so,
that?
yes, you did.
I did. I said assignment 3, test your knowledge on everything. So you're looking at chapters 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then 18, dealing with authorities. Mm-hmm. And that first part is worth 60 points. And trust me, they will mark that hard. So the first thing you're going to have to look at, if you're not in an organization, a regulated one, then you're going to have to interview someone. Because you have to give them some remedies, and the remedies have to be realistic. But it's not that difficult. It is going to require you to tie all of these little pieces together into one coherent document. Yeah, And notice that word in A, that key word there is cutting edge. I've already demonstrated to you all how to answer a question. There are key words, and the key words is what drive the examiner to see if you understand. Remember when we did the question and I said, these are the key words? You have to focus on the key words. Everybody going silent.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I was listening.
We
I'm
listening.
listening.
All right, so chapter 9 is going to be a part of number 3. So tell me how you want to do this. You want to do 9 and 10 tonight? Or you want to do 9, 10, and 11? Because you need to read it. Because once you've read it and we discussed the questions, you'll see how to apply it. If you haven't read it, you can't apply it. Because what I want you to do is, as we go through the questions, you can have your question 3 on the side, so you can make your notes for the pages you can refer to different things that you need to include in your paper.
Okay, I haven't, if I'm being honest, I haven't read all those chapters yet. And if you're saying it makes more sense to have the question and at least have some knowledge of those 3 chapters, I prefer to wait maybe till next week. I don't know how the others feel, so that we have time to read it and have the question, so we can take the notes and we'll know what we're looking for.
I agree.
I agree. Okay, so what we agreeing is what? Everybody will read the 3 chapters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you promised me last week you were gonna read 9 and 10. But I know when you're working, I understand. But you gotta make that effort. And we look at this.
9 and 10, Miss Archer, but I haven't read 11 yet.
Okay, all right. So that's what we're gonna have to do. Everybody has to be prepared for the 3 chapters. And then we go over the last question for assignment 2, which is on culture. And then this also includes culture. And then we look at some of the other things that you need, so that when you go into the next presenter, you be able to look for all the other information that you need. So we're in agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I should expect between now and Sunday the B part. And then by if you send it to me between now and Sunday, I can just look at your B part. And then by Thursday, if you're up to it, you should already put the 2 together. You just have to push yourself. That's the best way to do it. You have to push. So if anybody wants to get started tonight, just to rewrite what they submitted, you can do that and send that so you can get a jump start. Anyone else who hasn't submitted a first draft?
I have not.
Okay, so
I have not.
I have not either.
Okay, so you're sending me all of one in one paper.
I will try my best.
Okay.
I'll try my best to get all of one in one paper by next Wednesday.
Okay, all right.
Me too. I'll do the same.
Okay.
Can,
All right.
can I have your email
looking-
one more time, please?
Say that again.
Can I have your email one more time, please?
It's in the link with
With the Zoom class?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need to focus on this one because like you see, the other one requires a lot of work. And just like how I'm showing you all how to tighten it, you're gonna have to tighten that one too. Because it has a lot of small parts.
Miss Archer,
Yes.
slightly off topic, but my nerves are on me now. Do you
Okay.
know what would be reasons for them delaying or postponing issuing grades?
One could be Marcus is sick.
Okay.
Another one could be they probably don't have enough markers.
Okay.
Yeah, and then don't forget these papers are prepared, like I was telling you, were prepared by others in other jurisdictions.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so they are cross-marked.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
but I think most of it now, because normally we would have a delay, I think most of it now is due to having markers because of COVID.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Was sort of hoping that it was probably to add a couple more percentages, but okay.
yeah, no, yeah, don't worry, they take their time and they mark them. They're very meticulous. They're very meticulous. So I would suggest if you've already carved out this time now, to sit down, look at your paper, tighten it, and if you feel like you've done enough with it, you can send it back tonight so I can give you some feedback before the weekend, before you do the other part. And then you need to read chapters 9, 10, and 11. Me reading it to you won't help you. You need to read it. You have to put it in your memory bank. So we're on one accord now, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I should expect some emails tonight.
Probably.
Probably.
Miss
I've given
Miss
you all
Miss
the
Archer,
drive to go.
Miss Archer, I going to read.
Okay, well, okay. Well, if you read them in on the weekend, you can do it.
Yes, I'm gonna read as well.
Yeah, by the weekend.
Okay, please do. I'm sorry to say, but I've read all of them. So right now I need you to read it. Yeah. So if you haven't read from the beginning, I'm sorry to say, before you do assignment 3, you need to start from the beginning. If you haven't. All right, so do some reading. And so next week is serious weight. 9, 10, 11, and going over the last question. And then on the 26th, we'll do any more reviews that you have, and then we'll go over unit 12. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so get to work, and I'm looking for some emails.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. Have a blessed day.
Get to work.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
night.
Good night. Okay.